Hello, we are in Chlebovice, which is a small village close to Frýdek Místek, north of Moravia. And Ibu Robin Lim today had such an amazing seminar for the birth keepers. Arrived so many people, even from Slovakia. Thanks that you came here.
It was wonderful. I'm loving Czech Republic and the people, especially the eyes. I'm looking in the eyes of all of these women, and your country has amazing. Every woman has beautiful eyes. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ibu, why so important to not cut umbilical cord so early after the birth of the baby?
Thank you for the question. So, as a midwife and a grandmother and a mother and a doula, I really have read all the research I could find in the world for the last 25 years. And I have never found a research that shows a benefit for immediate clamping and cutting of the umbilical cord. But what I have found is a mountain of research which proves that if we just wait, the baby will get his or her full blood supply, which is full of iron. And even if you measure the baby's iron up to 18 months, the iron levels are better for the baby with delayed cord clamping and cutting. Okay, the oxygen in the umbilical cord, because the blood is from the placenta going through the umbilical cord into the baby. Also, the baby will get a once in a lifetime transfusion of so many stem cells. And these stem cells will help the baby to really have a healthier life, longevity, intelligence. We cannot even begin to imagine all the benefits. And yet it became a medical habit not based on research, not based on evidence, to immediately clamp and cut the umbilical cord. And then it was defended, even though it was never based on research or evidence. So now we have the research, we have the evidence, and we know that babies do better when we do not immediately clamp and cut the umbilical cord. We need to wait, and the baby can go skin to skin with mother, and the baby that gets her or his full blood supply is going to be more bright, more alert, and will have an easier time establishing breastfeeding. So it's really a matter of life and death for the baby.
Thank you. You even share that in your birth center you do resuscitation when it's necessary, the first aid, on the umbilical cord not touched.
Yes. Yes. So in the rare case that we have a baby that at birth does not breathe on her own or is not in good condition and we need to resuscitate, we always do it with the umbilical cord intact. And it might be one of the reasons that our efforts at resuscitation have such good outcomes.
And why are you teaching this technique and the method also to all the doctors and the midwives who work in some regions where are the earthquakes or some disasters or the wars?
Yes. So we live in really, I don't know what to say except desperate times. I mean, we're seeing every day on the news the wars, the earthquakes, the tsunamis, the floods, and the storms. With the crust of the earth is so warm now, so that the earthquakes are larger and more frequent, the storms are more frequent and more catastrophic. And the wars are getting really something that we're all worried about. We're all praying for an end to the wars. And we know that babies, in order to survive disasters, have to breastfeed. And we know that immediate clamping and cutting of the umbilical cord is a sabotage of breastfeeding. So really, for our coming generation to be able to cope with this kind of challenges that we're having right now on Earth and will have, we need to protect them. We need to make sure that they have delayed cord clamping and cutting, that their mothers have respectful, loving, skilled, and gentle care in pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum. And we need to support all of our mother babies and families to breastfeed. And from this, we know that the children born without trauma can begin from the very start of their lives to be stewards of our land, of our earth, of our water, of our air, of all species, to be champions. And we need these champions to heal our world. So I'm really believing that peace on earth begins with birth.
Thank you. You are also the one on the world well known like protector of the breastfeeding. Why?
Maybe it's because I breastfed all my children for so long. But I really believe in breastfeeding, and I really feel that as a professional midwife, it's my job to protect the coming generation by supporting mothers to breastfeed. Because the research is impeccable, and it shows that children are healthier, more intelligent, happier in every way if we breastfeed them. But mothers do not fail to breastfeed. Some mothers do not breastfeed, and why? Because their support systems fail them. Their healthcare providers, or their family, or their society, or their bosses force them back to work, put them in a financial situation where they cannot take the time off, the maternity leave. And so I believe that if we want to create peace on earth, if we want to save our planet from an extinction level event with climate crisis, if we want our endangered species and all humans to thrive and have really healthy, happy lives, then we really need to protect the smallest citizens of the world, the babies at birth. And babies need to breastfeed. I know that there's no profit to be made from breastfeeding. And you know, if Nestle goes bankrupt, I'm going to be happy. I don't like them. Those infant formula companies that are manipulating and getting the mothers to feed the infant formula and manipulating society and manipulating healthcare providers to give babies bottles in hospital when they don't need it, they should be in prison because they are harming babies.
Also, we have quite hard data about how much is beneficial the breastfeeding for the mothers, for the health of the women.
Yes. Bone density, longevity. The incidence of postpartum depression is lower in mothers who have the support they need to breastfeed their babies well. And so, yes, it's much more difficult. It's much more difficult for a mother to feed a baby with infant formula. The mother and the father of the family has to get up, they have to make the bottles, they have to boil the milk to prevent the Zaki bacteria from spreading to the baby. And then they have to wait for the milk to cool, and then they have to give the bottle. It's so much easier in the middle of the night to just roll over in bed and give your baby your breast. That is always clean. It is always the perfect temperature. It's always antibacterial. It's always nutritious. It's always the best possible thing for our baby. And the mother doesn't have to buy and shoulder the expense of this expensive infant formula. So yes, I support breastfeeding. I would lay my life down to help mothers breastfeed, and we always do. At Bumi Sehat, which means Healthy Mother Earth Foundation, in Indonesia and the Philippines, we have 2 birthing centers in the Philippines, and we have 4 in Indonesia, childbirth centers and free community health clinics in Indonesia. And there we have 100% breastfeeding, because if the mother has any difficulties at all she has to do is someone from her family inform our midwives, and immediately 2 midwives will go on the motorbike to wherever she is, even if it's far away, and help her.
Yeah.
Even in the middle of the night.
Great. We have also hard data about that the long-term care about the pregnant woman with provider, midwife, the good quality, is having a great impact on the birth and the breastfeeding.
Of course.
This is what you do in Bumi.
So midwife to mother care with the partnership of doulas. I really believe in doulas. I see that we have the data, and we know that if doula was a drug, it would be illegal not to use it. That's what we say in the birthkeeper world. But we also need to collaborate with our OBGYN doctors so that all of us are working as a team in harmony And this is how you get the best outcomes for the mothers and babies.
We also had a part of the day that you have been talking about your another very loving subject, which is placenta. So, what you can tell us?
I will tell you that I live in a small village in Bali, I've been there with my family for 32 years. And in Bali, what we understand and what we believe is that the placenta is the physical body of the baby's guardian angel. You had a placenta where your guardian angel lived when you were inside of your mother gestating, and the placenta and the baby were together, and placenta and baby are genetically identical. So the baby is bonded to the placenta as well as the mother. So when you immediately clamp and cut the cord and throw the placenta away, you hurt the baby. The baby's heart is broken. It's a big trauma. And you know, I will say something that maybe some people don't want to believe, but in our modern world, most of us, our placenta was thrown in the medical waste. It was put in the trash. Our genetic twin, the body of our guardian angel, instead of honored in a culturally appropriate and culturally safe way, was thrown in the trash. And we had no power as babies over this, and our mothers and our fathers had no power to honor the placenta. So we spend some part of our lives feeling like trash. And I believe this is the root cause. When you throw the placenta in the trash, you put a trauma on the individual human being. How can we stay human when we have so many traumas? So please, don't let anyone throw your baby's placenta in the trash. I don't want your baby to feel like they are trash.
Yoni.
Yoni.
The last chapter of today. What a day.
What a day. Yes. So my new book is Yoni Owner's Manual. And
I love the name. Owner's Manual.
Yoni, yeah. It's like a sacred, beautiful Sanskrit way to describe the most sacred and secret parts of a woman. And her vulva, her vagina, her clitoris, all of these beautiful anatomy that I'm so proud to be a woman. I'm so excited, even at 67, almost 68 years of age, that I was born in this body with a yoni. And my yoni opened up and let my babies out every time I gave birth. And then became small and pleasurable and delightful again. Amazing. It's an amazing miracle. And so I wrote a whole book on yonis, the Yoni Owner's Manual. And I'm really looking forward to it being translated into Czech.
Me too.
Language.
Me too. Hopefully 2025 will be Czech. Also the placenta forgotten chakra. Yeah, and the placenta, the forgotten chakra. Thank you very much for your job, for your time.
Thank you. How do I say thank you in Czech language?
Děkuji.
Děkuji. Děkuji. I love you.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you.
Děkuji.